And to unpack the Proteas' incredible performance, we're joined by our cricket expert, Khanyiso Tshwako. Khanyiso, what a way to start the year. Absolutely incredible. What do you attribute to this powerful performance from our Proteas?
Good evening, Zion. Good evening to you. I think one of the key things is that one, there is a pitch that has actually allowed for very decent batting. You remember that this time last year, the test match between South Africa and India had pretty much wrapped up as the shortest ever test match in terms of balls bowled because of a pitch that simply misbehaved from start to finish. South Africa were bowled out for 55, 23 wickets were lost on the first day. That hasn't happened yet. It has been a very even-paced, a very placid surface. South Africa, though, did capitalize on the fortunes they came with, winning the toss, made the ton of runs with 200s from Tim Above and Calvarela and a double ton from Rickeltons. So South Africa have made hay in the Cape Town sunshine today. Most probably having taken 3 Pakistani wickets and Pakistan have batted down with Saib Ayub injured and were not able to take part in the game. South Africa will probably hope to get Pakistan out tomorrow and try at the most push for a 3-day to 4-day finish. But also the placid nature of the pitch means that South Africa are going to have to work hard for their wickets.
You almost feel like, with those favourable conditions, which begs the next question, would they be able to perform in less favourable conditions? Because you also feel like they do have this hunger to perform, the Proteas.
I think one of the key parts with this particular team, especially under Shukri Conrad, is that they have decided to leave the pitch preparation to those who know better. If you remember, especially under the Otis Gibson era, there was a very big move towards bowler-friendly pitches, and that had a very deteriorative result on South Africa's batting and South Africa's bowling in particular, because as much as they were taking wickets, South Africa's bowlers struggled on surfaces that did not quite give them assistance. So what has become very clear with this performance, and we saw in the performance in Durban against Sri Lanka and in Gqeberha, where South Africa were able to work for wickets, bowl to plans, and be able to frustrate teams without having to worry about the pitch assisting them, which probably puts them in good stead for the World Test Championship final, because remember that wherever they play, whether it be Sri Lanka, whether it be Australia, they won't be in a position to control how the particular Lord surface will be prepared. So games like these, series like these, where they have to find a way to win, regardless of the surface, is a very good thing from an educational perspective for them.
Shukri Conrad, very interesting style of his coaching. Is this something that is sustainable? Because we've also seen him work on the mental health of his players.
The most important thing is that coaches have a different way of working. And I think what Shukri does as the coach, the head coach, and the sole selector, that he's very clear and very concise with the plans that he wants for his players. And I think the key part is that the players buy into his plans. I think one of the most important things is that he does give his players a very blank check in terms of what he wants of them, what he can get out of them, what he can't get out of them. And I think that is filtered into their performances. You can see with their bowling plans and the pitch water, that they're well researched, they're very clear. When they realize that plan A is not working, they move to plan B. When plan B is not working, they move to plan C. And also the ability to pick course for course teams. I mean, on a surface like this, you need a front line spinner. Pakistan made a very big mistake by not picking Noman Ali. But Africa ensured that when you come to Newlands, knowing and understanding how the conditions operate in different parts of South Africa with the different conditions, they've made sure for themselves that they put themselves in a position where they pick a team for a particular set of conditions. And it's going to be interesting to see how Akisha Maharaj operates on a surface that has been exposed to the sun and also the wind of Cape Town.
Let's talk about Themba Bavuma. He also seems to have rediscovered his form. What has changed for him?
Leadership more than anything else. The fact that I think he trusts his game more. Remember that before he became captain, he was averaging 37. He averages more than 50 now. He scored 300s and 450s as compared to 150 and 120 50s before he became captain. So I think the key part now for Themba Bavuma is that he's trusted his game, he's trusted by the leadership, and he's making sure that whenever there's an opportunity to bat well, he goes in and makes sure that he converts his starts. And he ensured that he walked in, well, not with a slightly wonky platform at 72-43, but he ensured that there was the bat at the other end of the pitch. Ron Rickeltons had a start, made sure that they both forward, put together a very strong, a very definitive 235-run partnership that actually led to South Africa finishing off on 615.
Khanyiso, do you think then this is perhaps a turning point in his career as a senior player?
Well, you could point back the turning point, even the Sri Lanka test, because remember that in the difficult first innings in Durban, he came in, tried to calm the waters, got a reprieve from Lahiro Kumar overstepping, but scored a critical 70 that has pretty much framed the summit, because in that second innings was able to put himself in a position to convert. And in PE, may probably missed out across both innings with making 50s. But I think the key part is that whenever he's been required to lead from the front, he's done exactly that. And I think he's always been able to do that from a far more rarer position as a player. But as captain, he's put his front foot forward since he was given the reins from the West Indies series onwards, and he's made sure that his visibility as a captain is seen.
Based on this performance, we've just dubbed him Boom Boom Bavuma. But Ryan Rickelton, double 100. Wow. And then, the debate about the opening partnership, Tony De Zorzi injured. What does this mean now for Ryan Rickelton's future?
Look, that's for Shoki Conrad to decide. It's going to be a very interesting next 6 months, because there's still some 4-day cricket to play. There's SA20. There's also going to go play county cricket. So there's also players are going to come back from injuries. So it's a delightful selection headache that he finds himself with. But also there's going to be a lot of disappointment and pacifying that he needs to do. So his man management skills are going to be tested. With players coming in from injuries, also going to be players who may have slight strains, slight niggles, because it's also the significant matter of the IPL, which ends 2 weeks before the World Test Championship final. And remember that South Africa's players, when they get the opportunity to play, the hard they miss out. So how players manage the full managerial is also going to be very interesting in that March to May period leading into the World Test Championship final.
Well, I want to find out about you, what your thoughts about the critics saying that we've had a very easy path to the World Test Championship.
Yeah, look, it is unfortunate that you'd find that the views of the likes of Michael Vaughan's, even your Ravi Shastri's, they're a bit entitled based on the fact that they're the big three money spinners when you include Australia. So one would feel that maybe they may feel that they have a quite given right to be in finals based on the fact that they play more matches than anyone else. The key thing is that you have to beat the team in front of you, and the disadvantage is that the more games you play, the narrower your chances become. Because if you play in a 5-test series, as much as the series that they play in, when you look at the India, Australia, the England, the Ashes, and the India-England series, those are legacy series. Those are key legacy series that are keeping Test cricket together. However, though, they cannot be weighted differently as compared to the other series that the other nations play, because those are the series that make up the chunk of the World Test Championship. And unfortunately, for those particular voices, it is something that has been set in stone. But it's something that the member boards, being the PCI and the ECB, voted for. So they need to sleep in the bed that has been made and can't put themselves in a position to complain over a process that the member boards actually complied in.
Last question for you, Khanyiso. Any areas that we need to, put the effort and maybe improve on?
Probably there's going to be a little more patience needed in Baba Azam and Muhammad Rizwan. Pakistan do have the strongest batters, and in having the strongest batters, it means that South Africa are going to need to crack their partnership quite early before they can even start to entertain thoughts of bowling Pakistan out within day 3 or in day 4. So it's going to be very important to see. And also, the one advantage South Africa has at the moment is that this is the last Test match at home for about 18 months. It's the last Test match before the World Test Championship final. So they should put themselves in a decent enough position to put the legs, to put mileage in the bowlers' legs, wrap up the game, and then the players will have an extra 2 days to rest before they disperse to their respective SA20 franchises.
Thank you so much, Khanyiso, for that insightful analysis. As always, not sure if you're going to get some rest with all the cricket that's been lined up.